Hello, everybody. Jim Phillips here. Welcome to another edition of Java with Jim. I have a great guest for you today. And I know this is a departure from what I normally do, but I decided to have this guest on. She's a very special lady, very good, dear friend of mine. Her name is Christen McCormack. She and I have worked together for, I don't know, somewhere around 14, 15 years. It's been a long time, but a great relationship. She's helped me through some difficult times in my life and helped me get to where I am, quite frankly, with a lot of the information that I have, opened me to a lot of the information that I have. She is the founder of the Spirit School of the Intuitive Arts. She was an intuitive guide herself. She connects with and communicates with spirit. She's going to be sharing some information with you today that I think is going to be extremely powerful and extremely beneficial. She's going to talk about how we can connect to our inner guidance, where, especially in those times that we're in right now, we feel that we are alone, that we don't really have that support or that guidance that we would need and that we have available to us, quite frankly, that we just do not tap into. So it is with great pleasure, I'm excited to introduce you to Christen McCormack Clark. Christen, welcome to the show. Thank you so much.
Jim, I'm happy to be here. It's an honor, actually.
Well, you're the first guest I've had, so I'm going to say it is an honor, but I'm excited because you would be the person that I would want on here. I have worked with you for so long and trusted you so much with just my life and things that I've gone through that I know you have really good information to be able to share with everybody who watches this video.
Well, thanks.
So what is it that you feel that most people are going through right now, where we're struggling and where we might be able to find that guidance and that support?
You know, from talking with all of my clients over these last months, what's really come forward for me is how many people feel alone in these trying times. And what it feels so important to me to say to people, to share with people, is that this idea that we're alone is an illusion. That not only do we have people in our lives that we can connect with, more importantly even than that is the reality that we have spirit with us all the time. And when I say spirit, I want to be really clear about what I mean when I say that. I mean the divine, however we define divinity. But I also mean that we have a guardian angel. We always have at least one angel, all of us, without fail. And we also have guides and teachers who are in the non-physical dimension of spirit. And then we have our own soul, which is such an incredible and powerful source of guidance and wisdom and love. So all of this, which I'm referring to when I say spirit, I'm referring to a body of higher intelligence and unconditional love. And in those times when we're feeling alone, we can turn to any one of these beings, including our own soul inside of us, and have the experience of being loved, cared for, and also guided if that's something that we need and something that we desire. It just occurs to me that there is such an incredible amount of support that any one of us can access if we know how to do it. I think that, this idea that we have to march through life alone in these challenging times is without a doubt an illusion.
What I think is interesting about what you said, well, all of what you said I find interesting, but even though we are doing our social distancing, we had been confined to our homes for a long period of time, people are not really connecting with one another. I think that whole idea of being alone is one that we're all experiencing just because of everything that's going on. I mean, even though, obviously we can get on Zoom and we can do all kinds of other ways to communicate and be with other people. But the challenge is really having that deeper connection. And when you say that we're never alone, I think that is a message that people need to hear. And I think it's one what certainly resonates with me, because there are times when I feel like, if nothing's going well for me, and I feel like there's nobody that I can really talk to, knowing that there is that really that other aspect of me that I can tap into, which would be my soul or my higher self. And then also, as you talk about your guardian angels and other entities that we have access to. So I think that's a critical bit of information for us to really know and be able to really grab hold of and use to our advantage.
I'm so glad to hear you say that, and I really do feel that way. And I know that, and I understand this, that some people are skeptical that there is even such a thing as angels, or that we would actually have guides or teachers in the realm of spirit that would be guiding us. I totally get that. I think it's actually healthy to be skeptical about things like this and not just accept them at face value. And yet what I would say is there's a difference between skepticism and actually just being closed. And my encouragement is to at least pursue the possibility that angels and higher beings are available to us, to consider what to me is an actual reality, that we're living in a field of love, that the beauty that is all around us, that we can see visually in nature and in the eyes of people that we care about, that this beauty is just a small portion of what is all around us that might not be visible, and that these higher beings are working on behalf of humanity, trying their best to guide us in a direction that would be a benevolent direction, in a sense, a caring for one another direction. And I really feel too, not only is spirit available to help us, but spirit will put people in our path, the very people that we need that can be a resource to us. You're a resource to people, for instance. Spirit will place the right persons in our path according to what we need to hear and what we need to know at any given time. We live in such an abundant state here, this earthly plane. It's hard to stay in touch with that now, though, with all of these restrictions that we're having to live with.
It was interesting when you were just, again, talking about having access to angels and skepticism around that. People are skeptical until they need help. And then all of a sudden people start praying and they start talking to angels and whoever else. I think it's really kind of an interesting way that we as humans play that game and interact with the spirit realm. Mm. We don't want to admit it's there, but then when we need it, we're all in.
We hope against hope that we could
real.
Perhaps maybe turn, that there would be someone or something to turn to. Absolutely.
Yeah.
When I talk about guardian angels, which again we all have, as a young child, I saw all these things. So it's not like I grew up reading about these things and then deciding they were real. Basically, what I read as an adult confirmed what I had already been clairvoyantly seeing as a child. I saw angels around people often. And so to me, there's no doubt in my mind, I've had so many angelic visitations and I had these experiences when I was young. So one thing I can offer to people is I know they're real because I saw them before I even knew what they were called. But another thing that I would say is that they call the guardian angels a guardian angel. And I think a better term for that is the guiding angel. They're not angels that guard over us so much as they're angels that do their best to guide us. And the way in which they guide us is through our heart. That knowing or that certainty that arises from within us, that kind of warmth of certainty, that oftentimes comes from our guardian angels. The messages that they deliver to us are delivered on the wings of love. I mean, without fail, they are a compassionate source of love and guidance for us. And accessing the presence of our soul, which is right there in the center of our chest, is accessing another source of love. Our souls are a powerful source of love. And the kinds of emotional dynamics that we get involved in our emotional and judgmental perspectives that arise at times in the challenges of life. our souls see our lives in such a different way, with such a different perspective, in a non-dualistic perspective. So our souls don't see things or people as good and bad, for instance. Our souls have this higher perspective that they can provide for us, which is not only comforting, but it is enlightening.
You're causing me to think now. We need to wrap this up now, because I like to keep these around this time frame.
Yeah.
You've given us a lot already. In the next 30 seconds or so, is there anything that comes up for you right now that could be maybe a concise statement or just a final bit of wisdom that you would like to share with everybody? And then after that, I want you to let people know where they can get in touch with you, whether your email address, website, whatever you want to give to them.
Great. Well, the thing I would say is that if we want to connect with our soul or our guardian angel, we can quiet ourselves and then simply, we can issue a prayer, or we can simply make the statement, I now connect with my guardian angel. And I can tell you with every assurance that the connection is then made. And any kind of conversation then can ensue from making that connection. It's being very specific and very intentional.
Okay, good.
So
and where can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, thanks for this opportunity. ChristenMcCormack.com or ChristenMcCormack@gmail. There you go.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Well, there you have it, everybody. Another edition of Java with Jim. Thank you, Christen, for your words of wisdom. I'm sure they're going to benefit a lot of folks who watch this. And thank all of you who do watch these videos. If you find benefit from it and you feel others might, please share the video with them wherever you have watched it. I look forward to the next time we get together. I appreciate you. Thank you. And I'll see you again. Take care now. Bye-bye.